Today I want to show you guys some of my favorite airsoft items that I think are essentials for any player, and the best part, they're all under $25. What's up airsofters, my name is Lane and welcome to the BB Warrior. This channel is dedicated to helping you learn more about airsoft and having a more enjoyable time out there on the field. So the first item that I want to talk about for today might have you scratching your head and say, well, why is this an essential? Why is it even on the list of items? And that is the PTS EPM. Now I know that they've updated it and they have the EPM 1 magazine as well. However, the standard EPM is currently only about $20, which means that it can fit in our $25 and under list. So statistically speaking, if you're playing airsoft, you either own an M4 or you own something that uses M4 magazines. And if you're the weirdo with an AK, well, go sit in the corner. The reason why I love the EPM 1 so much, and I think that's an essential for any player out there with a gun that uses M4 magazines, is the fact that it feeds in practically everything and it has a lot of capacity to it. The PTS EPM was really the first magazine that revolutionized making a mid-cap have a lot of BBs in it at 150 rounds. Not only was it one of the pioneers of doing this, it also did it really consistently. And like I said, the EPM feeds in absolutely everything. They don't take a lot of time to break in. And overall, they're a fantastic mid-cap. The reason why I think that this is absolutely essential is because of that reliability. The fact that it feeds in everything is going to work in any gun that you have. And I haven't had the issue of worrying about feeding in years since I upgraded to the EPMs. I had old GMP mags that were always super highly regarded. They all stopped feeding in my VFC 416. When I went from the 416 to a Crytac, certain mags would work in one gun, but they didn't work in the other. The guns that aren't M4s but use M4 magazines like TAR 21s, SCARs, things like that, they all have little bit different magazine well dimensions, which means that some things would feed, some wouldn't. The EPM just works in absolutely everything, which is why I think that it's fantastic. Again, they're about $20. If you want to spend a little bit more, they're about $32, $33. The EPM 1s are even better. They hold 250 rounds. My review of those is going to be coming out in a few weeks. But overall, the PTS EPM, absolutely fantastic. Now the second thing that I want to talk about for today is going to be good anti-fog, and this is critical because if you've ever fogged on the airsoft field, arguably I'd say everybody has at one point, you know that it makes you ineffective and overall just really frustrating. So I absolutely love Fog Stop. I've been using it for a couple of months now and it has been fantastic. Even on the hottest, most humid days, it works fantastically and makes sure that my goggles don't fog so I can see what I'm shooting at, and as well I can be more effective on the airsoft field. Now what I really like about Fog Stop in particular is that it comes in a nice little tin which makes it easily portable, so you can throw it in your admin pouch, in a general purpose pouch, or even your pocket, and you always have it there for you. All you have to do is take a little piece of microfiber, rub it right on the inside of your lenses, and boom, you're going to be protected from the fog. Now Fog Stop was kind enough to provide me with a discount code, so if you want to save 10% on your order, you can use the coupon code right here. I'll have a link down to Fog Stop as well as everything we talk about in today's video down in the description below. If you do use this coupon code, I do get a small kickback from them, which allows me to continue to make videos. But discount or not, I've been in love with Fog Stop, and it's really solved a lot of the issues that I've had with fogging, even with higher quality goggles. Sometimes it just gets so hot and humid out, especially in these summer months that we've been going through, that the fog is just unavoidable until I started using this on there, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Now the third thing that we're going to talk about is pretty similar to your goggles, but it's making sure that you have good face protection because you don't want your teeth, your nose, whatever it may be, to get shot. And in my opinion, a $20 mask is going to be way cheaper than dental bills to replace your teeth. So I personally use the One Tigris foldable face mask. I know we talk about these a lot on the channel, but that's because I'm absolutely in love with them. This one has the protectors on the ears as well, but as you can see, the sides of the mask, they're made out of a fabric. So they're padded, which is nice, so that if you get shot here, you're going to be protected, but it molds to your face. So when you go to shoulder your airsoft replica, you're not going to have any of the issues like with other masks where they are like a full face mask, like a dye mask for instance, or if you're using a more stiff face mask like these here, it's not, your rifle isn't going to be like off-centered and you're going to have a weird cheek weld. This adapts to your shoulder fantastically, and I absolutely love these masks. You can get these for under $20 depending on what variant you want, and they come in pretty much every camo under the sun, so I am absolutely in love with these One Tigris face masks. Now the next thing that I want to talk about for today's video is making sure that you don't get overshot, which is something that every airsofter complains about, but I feel like none of them actually do anything about it, and that is carrying a dead rag that is secured to your person. Personally, I am a huge fan of the Elite Force dead rag here. How it works is there's a little strap on the back, so you can put this on molly, you can put this on your belt. I've seen people like zip tie these down to their helmets, and when you get shot, you yell hit, and the dead rag is connected to it, which is really nice so that you don't lose it like I do with every other dead rag that I have tried. I put them in my cargo pockets, I've put them in like pouches on my plate carrier, and I always end up losing them. What I like about this is that this little tab that holds it all in place has Velcro on it, so when I get hit, I'll typically put this on my shoulder for instance, I get hit, pulled out, and then I'll stick that Velcro to the Velcro on my hat, on a helmet, whatever it may be, and then I have my dead rag up. People know that I'm dead, I'm not going to get overshot, but I don't have to sit there and like hold it against my face while I walk back to respawn. I personally really love this thing. You can find them, I think they're like 10, 15 bucks or so. They've been around for a while, but I'm absolutely in love with this thing. They make them in tan as well as the black one that you see here, but I really like it. It's not the biggest dead rag in the world, as you can see, but you know, it's one of those ones that's secured to my kit and I'm never gonna lose it, unlike the bigger ones that I typically end up fly off me when I'm walking away. So the next item that I wanna talk about is actually cheating a little bit, so I apologize. This one is a little bit over $25. It's about $27 to $30, depending on where you find it, and that is the Baofeng UV5R radio. And the reason why I think that this is essential is gonna be for anyone who goes to longer games, who works for their team, or maybe even goes to a milsim event. Radios are crucial to make sure that you are in proper communication with your team and you can be as effective as possible. Now the Baofeng UV5R has been really popular with airsofters for years because it's widely available and it's easy to program. Now this one here has a couple of additions on it besides the stock model. I have the extended battery on here, which makes this battery last like literally forever, and an extended antenna. I usually run this with a Code Red headset to push to talk and earpiece, but you can get really whatever your heart's desires depending on your full budget. Now, a lot of people will hit back at these by saying, well, you should probably have your ham radio license, which is absolutely true if you're not using the family radio service that the FCC has set up. If you want to learn more about what frequencies you can and can't use, as well as the power of your radio, I'd highly recommend reading the article that I wrote on the bbwarrior.com about using radios for airsoft, which will be linked below, as I've previously mentioned, for other products in today's video. But overall, having a radio is a huge force multiplier. By being able to communicate over long distances, you're going to make sure that you're being more effective as an entire team, and it's going to help you win these bigger games, and I think it's definitely an essential for any player who's trying to get organized or go to a milsim event. Now the final item that I want to talk about for today is going to be one that's going to go right on your rifle, and it's not useful in and of itself, but it's going to protect other investments that you've made in airsoft, and that is going to be your lens protector. What I love about these lens protectors is the cheap ones are about $10 to $15 or so, but it's going to protect your much more expensive purchases like your optics, flashlights, whatever it may be. Now me personally, I like to run real steel optics on my airsoft guns because they're going to hold their zero and the dot's going to be much more crisp than a lot of replicas that you find out there. So I want to protect, you know, my $80 optic, $150 optic, you know, people out there with like real EOTechs and ACOGs, those are very expensive optics and you're going to want to protect it. And I'd say the same goes true for, you know, an airsoft grade optic as well. Buying the $7 protector, the $15 protector, what it may be, is going to protect your much larger purchase. You know, kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier with the masks in your teeth. Buying that protective gear is going to be much cheaper than the alternative of something breaking. So I really like these. The other thing I do with them that I have seen some people do is typically they'll come with like 2 or 3 extra sheets in case it gets shot out, which I've had them get shot and not crack or anything, but they'll come with some replacements. What I'll do is I'll take a Dremel and I'll kind of cut out the stuff on the front, and then I'll have a nice little circle of it that I can either put on the optic itself, glue it down, or I'll put it on my flashlights so that if my flashlight gets shot, the bulb doesn't break, anything like that. There's a lot that you can do with these little Lexan pieces to protect your more sensitive piece of gear. Again, like flashlights, night vision uses the same sort of thing to protect them, your PEC box, whatever it may be, lasers. You can use these to protect a lot of things on your airsoft gun, and I highly recommend them. Don't get me wrong, they don't look as cool as not having them on there, but you know what doesn't look any cool? A shattered optic. So anyways, those are my top picks for essential items that are all under $25 for airsoft. I think that if you get any one of these, you're going to be super happy with them. And for me, they've provided a ton of utility over the years, and they've made me, you know, a more effective player. Like the mid caps, for example, being able to have that 150 rounds means that I'm reloading less, means that I can be more aggressive. And combining that with a radio, I can be a great force multiplier on the field. And the other products we talked about, well, I just think that they're great quality of life enhancers. So that's going to do it for today's video. Like I said, if you want to check out any of the products mentioned in today's video, they are all linked in the description below, as well as the article on the bbwarrior.com that I mentioned. Like I said, if you purchase any of these products, I do get a small kickback that allows me to continue excuse me, that allows me to continue to make videos just like these ones, and none of the companies that are mentioned in today's video even knows that it's happening, so it's not a sponsored video or anything like that. Just be completely transparent with you. But if this was your first time here, I'd love it if you joined our community, bring that subscribe button. Also, make sure to join our Discord server, which will be linked down below. But my name is Lane from the BB Warrior, talking about my favorite airsoft essential items, and I'll see you all next time.